Mother's Day is coming up, so this is for all the special mothers out there, especially mine. Her name's Lourdes. Look how cute. There she is. That's my mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. It was a day like any other. She woke up and she wanted to enjoy a nice walk with her 7-year-old son. As they enjoyed the snow around them, along with the sounds of neighborhood children, they were startled to hear, "Bear!" She turned around and saw that her 7-year-old son was being sized up by an 8-foot-long polar bear. Afraid and panicked, she thought of how she could save her son. Thankfully, the neighborhood kids, older than her boy, got between the bear and the 7-year-old. However, of course, these two kids would not be strong enough to take on a 700-pound polar bear. So, in stepped the mom. 90 pounds at her heaviest, not even 5 feet tall. She thought if she could only distract the bear long enough, maybe the kids would be able to get away. Believe it or not, this actually happened in February 2006 in Quebec, Canada. The mother, Lydia Angiyou, punched and kicked at the 8-foot, 700-pound bear. With one swipe of its paw, Lydia was on the ground. On her back and on the ground, with the bear on top of her, she kept kicking upward. Another swipe from the bear sent her rolling as the attack continued. Seeing that her boy, along with the other kids, were a safe distance away, she was satisfied. She was able to hold the bear just long enough for them to get away. Suddenly, there was a gunshot in the air, and the bear was scared off. This, of course, is an amazing story. Fighting off a polar bear is not something that people just want to wake up and actually do. But let's take a look at what motivates us and moves us to take such amazing actions. This is Dr. R, and this is Worth Saying. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe, and we'd like to see you in the future. I don't know about you, but for me, even fighting off a dog is already scary, let alone a 700-pound, 8-foot bear. So how a 5-foot, 90-pound woman was able to do this is amazing. Let's just try to understand the story just a little bit. First of all, in her panic, she came at the bear, punching and kicking. Now, from the way I look at it, if someone was trying to punch me, 90 pounds, 5 feet tall, those punches probably won't have that much effect. However, such punches could be effective if she's actually exhibiting what is termed hysterical strength. And no, I'm not meaning the kind of strength that's kind of funny. But more like hysterical, we're in panic mode, we need to do something. This is the kind of strength that allows us to go beyond our normal levels of strength and do amazing things. For example, in 1982, Angela Cavallo was able to lift her son's 1964 Chevy Impala off of his chest long enough for the neighbors to get him out from under the car, as well as being able to put 2 more jacks to support the car. So how is this possible? Well, let's look at some modern feats that have been recorded today. For example, let's take a look at deadlifts. This is probably the most fitting thing to look at, since this is most likely the position that Angela Cavallo was able to take in order to lift the car. The heaviest deadlift performed by a man without equipment was actually done by Hafthor Bjornsson. Hafthor Bjornsson. Hafthor the Mountain from Game of Thrones. He was able to lift 1,105 pounds. And as amazing as that sounds, that's a male. Well, it's the record for a female. Well, that was actually set by Becca Swanson. Becca was actually able to deadlift 672 pounds. Now, that's no small feat. However, let's keep in mind that Becca Swanson is about 240 pounds. She lifts weights professionally. While Angela Cavallo, 145 pounds, probably just does dishes. To understand things a little bit more, let's look at things mathematically. A 1964 Chevy Impala, the average weight of that would be about 3,300 pounds. Now, we understand that she didn't lift the whole car herself, obviously not. She lifted probably just one corner of the car. So I think it's safe to say that it's possible that she lifted 25% of the car's weight. Putting that mathematically, she could have possibly lifted 825 pounds. That's 153 pounds more than what Becca was able to lift. To put that into perspective, if you took the weight that Becca actually lifted and had Angela sit on it while she's lifting it, that's closer to the weight that Angela Cavallo was able to lift. What is it that is happening in the human body that allows people to actually do this? The brain has a way of limiting the body, limiting its output. It's estimated that we have access to about 65% of our muscles' capabilities. Now, with hard work, training, athletes are able to push that even further. Some sources even say up to 90%. But during times of stress, our bodies are able to tap into this excess of physical strength. With the help of adrenaline, increased blood flow to our muscles, increased oxygen intake by our lungs, and an increase in endorphins in our bodies, which actually helps us to cope with pain, we're able to do quite amazing things. This is a sort of survival mode of the body. And for a brief moment in time, you'll be able to do things like throw around 800 pounds of metal. The fascinating thing is, if our bodies are capable of tapping into such strength, why can't we do that on a regular basis? Why can't we tap into this strength anytime we want? Well, it's actually a good thing that we're not able to do this all the time, because if we were always doing this, we'd increase our chances of being injured, possibly even permanently. Thus, it's only available to us during times of trauma, if someone that we care about is actually in danger. You see, when Lydia and Angela's children were in danger, those were the only times they were able to tap into such strength. Lydia, after fighting off the polar bear, actually recalled the only thing she was thinking in her mind was, my boy is going to be killed, and there's nothing I can do. But I started yelling, and when I saw that the boy was far, I felt better. Meaning her boy was the only thing that mattered to her at the time. Not the fact that she was facing a 700-pound bear. She wasn't worried for her life. In such cases, their whys far outweighed any thought that they had at the time. It just goes to show the amazing things our bodies are capable of. If only we moved according to the greatest things that motivate us the most, our deepest and biggest whys. I mentioned in our last video that John found out his reason or biggest why that motivated him enough to make significant changes in his weight. And this all makes me think and ask the question, how far can regular, average, everyday people go if we have enough reason or a big enough why to go so far? Not sure if I'll ever know the answer to this question. If there's anything we can learn from hysterical strength, is that we're a lot stronger than we think we are. This is Dr. R. Like and subscribe below, and we'll catch you in the next video. And this is Worth Saying.